A bombshell trade rumor is sending shockwaves through Denver right now as the draft approaches. While the Broncos have been uncharacteristically quiet this offseason, sources close to the building suggest Sean Payton is plotting a move that nobody saw coming. We have seen Peyton Manning arrive and Russell Wilson depart, but this 2026 cycle feels different because of the silence. Now, a Pro Bowl explosive playmaker is reportedly on the trade block in Miami, and the links to the Mile High City are getting impossible to ignore. Is Denver finally about to break their silence with a draft day blockbuster? Devon Kane is the name currently setting the rumor mill on fire across the league and specifically inside the Broncos' facility. The Miami Dolphins star just finished a massive 1,300-yard season in 2025, but as he enters the final year of his rookie deal, the extension talks in South Florida have completely stalled. My sources in Miami say the Dolphins are dealing with a brutal dead money situation, and they might be forced into a fire sale to balance the books for their new head coach, Jeff Hafley. This opens a window for Denver that was previously shut. We know the Broncos have only made 2 outside moves this year, the Jalen Waddle trade and Tyson Anderson signing, which makes this potential pursuit of a second Dolphins star even more intriguing. J.K. Dobbins is already on the roster after receiving a significant 4-times raise to stay in Denver, currently counting $8 million against the cap. However, the whispers from former players like Aqib Talib suggest the Broncos are working on something massive that will culminate during the draft. Shane is exactly the kind of home run hitter Sean Payton loves in his system, but the price tag is the ultimate hurdle. We are talking about a player who averaged over 5 yards per carry and earned Pro Bowl honors at just 24 years old. The fit is seamless from a football perspective, but the financial math behind this potential deal is where things get incredibly complicated for the front office. If the Dolphins are truly looking to move him before he hits free agency, the Broncos have to decide if they are willing to part with premium draft capital and then immediately hand out a contract worth upwards of $14 million annually. The history of this offseason shows that Denver has been very disciplined with their spending, even walking away from other top-tier options when the bidding got too high. But with the draft looming and the pressure mounting to give this offense more teeth, the question isn't just about the talent, it's about the timing and the ultimate cost of pulling the trigger. Are the Broncos really prepared to make another explosive trade with Miami, or is there a hidden trap in this deal that could ruin their long-term cap health? Do you think paying over $14 million for a running back like Shane is the move that finally saves this Denver offense? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments right now because this decision will define the Sean Payton era. We are working hard to bring you these exclusive inside reports, so please hit that subscribe button and leave a like to help us hit our goal of 500 subscribers. Your support keeps this insider channel alive and allows us to dig deeper into the facility. Stay tuned, because what I am about to reveal next changes the entire trade math. J.K. Dobbins is the veteran presence currently holding down the backfield, and his recent contract extension is the biggest indicator of how Denver values the position. The Broncos recently backed away from a potential deal for Travis Etienne because the price reached $14 million per year, which is exactly the neighborhood Shane is expected to land in. This creates a massive conflict in the front office's strategy. If they weren't willing to pay that price for Etienne, why would the arithmetic change for Kane now? Sources tell me the team is extremely high on Dobbins' recovery and leadership, and they just committed $8 million to him for this season alone. Bringing in Kane would require not just a huge trade package, but a guaranteed contract in the range of $25 million. That is a massive pill to swallow for a team that has been preaching financial restraint and building through the draft. Elon Poupart of Dolphins on SI has noted that Kane is looking for top-of-the-market money, and that usually doesn't align with how this specific Broncos administration has operated since the Russell Wilson fallout. However, we cannot ignore the Aqib Talib factor here. Talib was the one who accurately predicted the Waddle trade before it happened, and he is now insisting that another big move is coming down the pike on draft day. Whether that move is specifically for a Kane or a move up in the first round for a quarterback remains the million-dollar question. Inside the building, the coaches are enamored with Kane's speed and his ability to catch passes out of the backfield, which is a hallmark of a Payton offense. But the scouts are also looking at the deep pool of talent in the upcoming draft class. If they can get 80% of Kane's production from a rookie on a cheap 4-year contract, the trade rumors might just be a smokescreen. The reality is that Miami's fire sale has already benefited Denver once this year, and the lines of communication between the two front offices are wide open. They have the relationship to make a deal happen quickly if the price drops. But as of this moment, the gap between what Miami wants and what Denver is willing to pay remains wide. The tension is building as the clock ticks toward the first round, and the front office is weighing the risk of overpaying for a veteran versus the uncertainty of a rookie. The impact of this decision stretches far beyond just the running back room and into the very core of the Broncos' identity for the next 3 years. If Sean Payton and George Payton decide to pull the trigger on a trade of this magnitude, it signals that the rebuild phase is officially over and they are in a win-now mode despite the roster turnover. This move would likely cost the Broncos a second-round pick and potentially more, which is a high price for a team that needs to replenish its depth across the offensive line and defense. Looking at the future, the Broncos are projected to receive 2 compensatory picks in 2027, and they are being very careful not to void those by signing too many high-priced free agents right now. This is why a trade is more likely than a post-draft signing. Trades don't count against the compensatory formula. The front office is playing a high-stakes game of chess, trying to maximize their talent while protecting their future draft capital. If they pass on a Kane, the focus shifts entirely to the draft board, where they might look to trade up for a franchise-altering prospect. We have seen them do this before with players like John Franklin Myers or Zach Wilson, making deals during the draft to fill specific holes. The inactivity we have seen so far this offseason isn't a sign of weakness, but a sign of calculated patience. They are waiting for the market to crash or for a team like Miami to get desperate enough to lower their asking price. The strategy is clear. Don't overpay in March so you can dominate in April. This approach has left the fans anxious, but the internal belief is that this discipline will lead to a more sustainable roster. The next few weeks will reveal if that patience pays off, or if they miss their window to add a truly elite playmaker to the rotation. If the draft passes without a major acquisition, the pressure on the current roster to perform will be immense, especially for the young players who are being asked to step into starting roles. The future of the franchise depends on whether they can find elite production without breaking the bank, a task that is much easier said than done in the modern NFL landscape, where star power often dictates the standings. At the end of the day, the Devon Kane rumors represent the ultimate crossroads for the Denver Broncos as they transition into a new era under Sean Payton. It is about more than just a single player. It is about a philosophy of roster building that prizes long-term stability over short-term splashes. While Broncos country is hungry for a superstar like a Shane to electrify Mile High, the front office is clearly scarred by the massive contracts of the past that didn't yield results. The meaning of this offseason silence is that the Broncos are finally growing up and refusing to be the team that overpays for every shiny new toy on the market. They are building a foundation based on value and scheme fit, even if it means moving slower than the fans would like. However, the ghost of Aqib Talib's prediction still looms large, and draft day has a way of making even the most disciplined GMs get aggressive. If a deal for a Kane happens, it will be because the price finally matched Denver's internal valuation, not because they felt forced to make a move. This is a new, smarter version of the Broncos that we haven't seen in over a decade. Whether this plan leads back to the playoffs or results in another year of mediocrity will depend on their execution during the draft. What do you think is the bigger priority for Denver right now? Trading for an established star or keeping their picks to build through the draft? Your opinion matters, so drop a comment below and let's get the debate started. This is the most critical time of the year for the franchise, and we will be here every step of the way to give you the inside scoop. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a breaking update from inside the facility. Let's hit that 500 subscriber mark together and show the league that Broncos country is the strongest fan base in the world. Thank you for watching, and remember, in the Mile High City, the next big move is always just one phone call away. Stay tuned, stay loyal, and we will see you in the next one for more exclusive Broncos news.